The Ministry of Parliamentary Affairs and Governance, with support from the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, has kicked off a 3-day workshop aimed at building institutional capacity for reporting and fighting corruption. At the opening ceremony of the workshop hosted at the Police Training Centre on Monday, Minister Gail Teixeira spoke of the importance of the workshop.
So we need as a country, as a small country in terms of population, in terms of our skills base, to be able to work in an organized, structured manner and to be able to develop the capacity when each of the agencies are involved, as well as at the national level. And that's what this workshop is about.
The Governance Minister also spoke of the National Coordinating Committee, which deals with the overlapping and synergies between the United Nations and Inter-American Conventions Against Corruption. She said this body, which represents 12 agencies, meets monthly and is looking to extend representation to other bodies.
If we're serious about anti-corruption, if we're serious about ensuring that taxpayers' money is used for the good of the people and not being used for abuse, corruption, embezzlement, etc., that we have to ensure that the agencies involved are prepared and willing to take on the job.
Meanwhile, the Crime Prevention and Criminal Justice Officer at the UNODC reminded that the fight against corruption is a global one. He was keen to note, however, that eliminating corruption has become even more critical and urgent amid the COVID pandemic.
And in this time of the pandemic, in the time of COVID, we know that corruption has had particularly challenging effects on government's ability to respond to the crisis, to respond to the pandemic through corruption in public procurement, in the acquisition of necessary medical supplies and equipment, in the distribution and the manufacture of vaccines and treatments for recovery.
Over the next 3 days, the participants will familiarize themselves and receive knowledge on the codes of the UN Convention, public procurement and management of public finances, public reporting and participation of society, preventative anti-corruption policies and practices, measures relating to the judiciary and prosecution services, along with other key areas.